Here's Joel Moore moving to the basket, a super move, the rebound from Spade, and here's Joel Moore.
Can you speak about your experience as a coach? What you've seen at the start of, what you've seen coming out of your playing days as a coach, into essentially what you've seen now, and also comparing that to what you've seen in Europe.
I'm fortunate, and so are a few other people, that we played in the era where we were taught. You know, when I think about the types of coaches that came to Britain, lots of them were NC2A Division 1 coaches that came to Britain. And the types of Americans that we got back then is a lot different from what we get now. I mean, for instance, a lot of the guys that came to Britain were drafted. Some of them were second round draft picks. Some of them were played in the NBA for long periods and then came to Europe because Britain was an English-speaking country and they didn't know anywhere else as far as European basketball. The difference is that when I played, everybody could play. Everybody understood pick and roll. Everybody understood flare screens, down screens, Ironson cuts, things like that was basic. So we understood that. British kids don't know what they are. I don't care what anybody else says to me. I've had kids come over to me and they don't understand what it takes to play. They think it's just a crossover in and out and a pick and roll. And there's a lot more to it. There's a whole bunch more to it. So in my generation, when I go on the court with some of the club teams or some of the junior teams, they could all play. They could all play, and they all understood that there's IQ to this and they've got to do this. Now when I pick up some of the British kids, and I tell them, I'm asking them questions about this screen or that screen, they don't know. Or how do they train effectively? Now, when I go to the parks, Blue Cage, which a lot of people know in London, Blue Cage, everybody's putting the crossover in and out. Everybody thinks they're Kyrie or LeBron, and they're not looking to pass to their teammates. They're not trying to play proper basketball. And again, I think the administration hasn't done a very good job of keeping the prices low, or the council hasn't done a very good job of keeping the prices low so that British basketball can flourish. And when I look at the kids now, everybody plays in the parks. I never played in the parks. I probably played in the park maybe 4 times in my life. Every time I played, it was a court basketball. There was structure to it. There were coaches that knew what they were talking about. And I have to thank my coach, Roy Packer, for making me play defense, forcing me to play, not block, shot defense, bending my knees and sliding and figuring out how to stop people and keeping it in front of me. That's lost on this generation.
Can you compare that to basketball over like in Europe and what you experienced in Germany?
Yeah. So, I mean, I've been in Germany now for 4 years, and very different. Yes, the talent, some of the talent isn't as good as what I see in Britain. In Britain, you have a lot of physical talent. And some of my European counterparts are saying that Britain's like a gold mine of physical talent. Everybody in Europe has some resemblance of IQ. The IQ is the knowledge to make the decisions, the right decisions at the right time, irrespective of your physical ability. The decision making is what gets you into Euro League or into a professional environment. If you can't make decisions, you're not going to play at the next level. You can cross over as much as you want, you're not going to play. So the difference between European basketball and what I see in Britain is everybody's trying to be like LeBron or Kobe or God rest his soul. And also anybody that's in the NBA, everybody copies what they think that's basketball. That's not basketball. Street ball and 1 versus 4 or 1 versus 3, that's not basketball. And that's the major difference. These kids all understand about pick and roll, getting off balance by pump faking, drag screen, you flare off of that or stuff like that. They understand that because they don't have the physical gifts that we have, but we don't have the coaches. And I'm not saying that our kids shouldn't go to the States. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the top 3% should go to the States. If you're not in the top 3% of basketball players, what are you getting out of America? know, I hear the horror stories of parents spending 10, 15,000 to send their kid to the States, and their kid comes back no better than what they actually are. You know, one thing I can say about 90% of the players that end up in Europe, they will develop the understanding to play in the European League.